right, we're live. Are we getting audio though? Should be getting audio. I think I'm getting audio. Let me test this real quick. Let's see if that works. It does. Very cool. Okay, so where is Twitch? Why can I never find it on my phone? What is wrong with me? Why can I never find it? Making sure that my audio is working. That's not where I wanted to go. Someone told you that Roman shouldn't be in Major League Baseball for not hitting so far in spring training. Someone told you that. Oh, there's audio. Okay, cool. I mean, it's early, so who really knows? You know, it's early. Can I pop this out? Check something. Can I take this? Oops, it's not what I wanted to do. Screen. Yeah, I mean it's early, Breeze. Who knows? You know, I mean, are they ready? I don't really know. Full screen source. Can I do that? Yes. There we go. It's gonna be a little bit bigger though, so I can actually see it. I'll put that over here. The walks are going to be a problem. They could be. They absolutely could be. I also wanted to turn my camera on. So let me do that real quick. I shrunk that down. Let's turn the camera on. Is it working? It is. Yay. All right. We are live. And yeah, I'm wearing a hoodie and a jacket because I forgot to turn my heat on. I forgot to turn my heat on this morning. So in my office. So my office is nice and cold, but that's all right. I can deal with it. You don't know why they let Kenley go and signed Aroldis Chapman. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Kenley wanted to be back. That's sort of the impression that I think most of us got during the season. So yeah, I don't really know. Let me. I want to go here. I think I want to go here. Give me just a second, Breeze. I know you're in here and I know you're chatting. I just need to get everything set up here. So bear with me just a minute. Come on. There we go. Slow. What is going on? All right, so there's this, there's this, there's that. We're going to go here and I see. No, I mean, you posted on Discord if the stream was going to be canceled. No, I said between 7 and 8. I'm live between 7 and 8. It's 7:23 at the moment. So let's. All right. going. All right, so we are live and we are ready to go. I don't know, is the chat too big? Like in that bot, it looks too big. Let me shrink that down. That looks way too big for what we're trying to do here. Hang on. Oh, as in I was going to be live from 7 to 8. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I was going to go live between 7 and 8 p.m. I was out for a little while tonight, and I had to, there we go. And I had to wait till I get home before I got home. Chat is a little too big. Yeah, I just shrunk it down. Is that better? That looks better, right? Not covering too much in that bottom right-hand corner. At any rate, thank you, Shawnee. So yeah, we're through year 3. We are at the end of the regular season. Yeah, I got my jacket on, I got my hoodie on, I got the heater full blast. So hopefully sometime in the next hour or so, my office will warm up to the point where I can take my jacket off and get comfortable. But for now, it's pretty damn chilly up here. So we finished year 3. We finished 92-70. We actually played really, really well in July and August. Go over the stats and everything here momentarily, but home screen, info, team stats. You can see 17-6 in July, 18-9 in August, and then 500 down the stretch. We were in first place for a bit in August. We had passed Milwaukee. Fell off a little bit at the end of the season, finished 92-70. Am I excited for? Yeah, I got a deadline. I got 10 days to win with the Pirates before I have to call it a day and move on to 26. And I think I was talking to Chris over at GM Games, and I think I'm going to be doing both a Let's Play on my channel here and then one on GM Games as well. So you're going to do a log Cubs save. Yeah, I'll be doing my Red Sox one offline. And then I still haven't decided who I'm doing in 26 on my channel yet. And then, like I said, I'm going to be doing one over on GM Games as well. So you might rely on giveaways. You got one from me before. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was 22, 23. You got one of them for free from me. So yeah, we finished 92-70 for the third time. Let's start. I mean, we had our pitching staff was fantastic. Jackson Jobe is hurt. We're going to find out for how long here shortly. But our pitching staff was fantastic. Skeens 18-8, 250 strikeouts, 130 ERA plus, 3.38 FIP. He was every bit the ace we needed him to be. Jackson Jobe went 9-9. He was 6-5 with us. I mean, that was a good stretch for him. 16 starts, 2 WAR, 116 ERA plus, which is important because, and we'll get into the offseason moves in the offseason, but I think based off of salaries, Shane Baz is likely to get moved next year. I'm probably going to move Baz and Guerrero as soon as the season ends, and try to free up some money to spend on some other players who are going to need it. But we gotta get there first. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but Jobe had a good season. Luzardo had a really good season to the point that we're not going to be able to re-sign him. That's not what I wanted to do, to the point where we're not going to be able to re-sign him. $18 million for 5 years. It's not a bad contract given how he's done this year. Yeah, Breeze. I mean, we're just going to jump right in. Like, I'm not going to, when I do my Let's Play, I'm not even going to, I'm just going to fire the game up and we're just going to sort of learn as we go. And, we'll see. And it should be pretty fun. It should be pretty fun. Yeah, so it's not a bad contract, but it's more than we can afford. Gausman, we brought in at the trade deadline. He went 7-1 in 16 games. He was actually quite good for us. I used him as a use more often middle reliever, and then he went into the rotation due to some injuries, and he was great. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with him in the playoffs. I'm probably going to leave him in this role here just because he was good at it. Jared Jones had a really good year, 15-7. The home run allowed number has dipped a bit, which I'm not thrilled about, but his ARB number I think was 4, something like that. 4.6. So he's going to start to get expensive here this upcoming season. Skeens we have at the minimum for next year as well. And then the following season will be when he gets really expensive. Pepio was fine. Got really hot at the end of the year. If you look at our team page, he got really hot at the end of the year. Just 2 earned runs in his last 19 2/3 innings. But again, another pitcher who has dipped a bit in terms of his ratings. The stuff control have all dipped this season, and his ARB number is 5 or 6 or something. So that's probably another pitcher that we will move on from. Baz was good this year, sub 4 ERA, but again, another pitcher that's likely to get moved at the end of the season, just because again that he had a couple of dips here in April. He regained some of his control in August and September, but again, that contract, $7 million, I'm not terribly excited about. Holton and Holmes were the 2 guys we picked up at the deadline. Holton was fine. ERA a bit high, but he was above average out of the bullpen. Holmes was meh. I think I'm going to, in the postseason, I think we're going to use him as just a specialist against righties because lefties hit him pretty hard. He's that righty side armor type. The rest of our bullpen was fine. Oviedo, Harbin, who got really hot down the stretch as well. Ended up with a pretty good second season. Ledzinski, Contreras, and Ashcraft were all slightly right around average. Lineup. Nolan Jones, a really nice first year for us, 31 home runs. Led the team in RBI with 82, led the team in runs, second on the team in walks. Put up an 800 OPS. I'll take it. 120 OPS plus, and he was fantastic at third base as well. So giving up Brian Hayes didn't really hurt us too much there. Tamar Johnson ended up having a terrific rookie campaign, 4 WAR, 54 extra base hits, walked almost 100 times. O'Neal Cruz tapered off at the end of the season, but still gave us almost 4 WAR and an absolutely fantastic season at short. CJ Kafis hit 20 home runs for us, and his ratings just continued to get better as the year went on. Gave us an 839 OPS, 129 OPS plus. Henry Davis. You can't get away from that. Yeah, my 17-year-old Lexus doesn't need an extended warranty. It's got 160,000 miles on it, and as long as I take care of it, I should get another 160,000 miles. So I'm good. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. Henry Davis ended up having a really nice season. That average climbed to 246, career high there. Career high slugging, OPS plus. He's going to start to get expensive as well. 6.2 next season. How you doing tonight, Cardinal fan? Did you vote on my poll? And if you did, I'd be willing to bet I know who you voted for. Dylan Beavers was our Rule 5 guy. Gave us 17 home runs. 117 OPS plus. Was good. The ratings dipped a bit in July, but I mean, as Rule 5 picks go, he could have done a whole lot worse than this. So I put up a poll on Discord, whatever it was, 2 or 3 days ago, asking who you wanted me to play as in 26. It's in the, I think it's either in the general channel or the OOTP channel. I can't remember. I don't remember which one it is. And if you're in the channel and you're not in our Discord, here is a link to my Discord. You can head on over there and join us. DeLuca continues to play well. I mean, everything was down a bit compared to last season, but still, I think a valuable bat, especially against lefties. Played really good defensively as well again this season. So, I mean, there's value in Johnny DeLuca. Ryan Ritter gave us almost a full WAR, even though he was awful with the bat. I mean, look at his defensive ratings. He was plus 4.2 zone rating, efficiency of 1.051, and just 34 games started. So he was really, really good defensively. Vlad, the ratings have dipped a tiny bit. The contact dipped from 60 to 55 in July, but then he got it back in August. So I think we move Vlad once the season ends. I think we can find a first baseman that can give us these numbers for less than $30 million. Harrison Bader was exactly what you would expect. He gave us 13 home runs and will probably win the Gold Glove in center field. And his ask to come back isn't unreasonable. So it's the kind of thing, if we can move Guerrero, it probably makes sense to re-sign Bader because that's 15% of what he's making. Duran hit a little bit in part-time action this year. Again, wasn't all that good. Likely a DFA candidate next year because his ARB number goes up to almost 4. Lonnie White in limited playing time. I think was good defensively and was okay with the bat. Yeah, I mean, he played right field for us mostly, but you voted? Cool. Blaze Jordan is what he was. He's fine as a minimum player off the bench. But once he starts getting into arbitration and starts making more money, we'll probably move on there. So all in all, not a bad season. And we still finished 11th in runs scored, but I mean, our pitching and our defense, I think this is the best defensive team I've ever put together. If you just look at some of our defensive stats, I mean, it's just Guerrero and Kafis, who's really playing out of position. Kafis is more left fielder. The only 2 below average players. I mean, everybody else was fantastic. So just really, really good defensive work from the Pittsburgh Pirates this season. Mason White is up to the number 2 prospect in the game. His ratings have spiked here this year, which is just phenomenal. He was our first pick a year ago. Our first pick. No, it was our first pick last year. Hagen Smith was our first pick in our first season. Right. That's why I said that, Cardinal fan. It's why I assumed you went with the Cardinals. Hagen Smith probably starts next season in AAA, may even be in the majors if he can get a ratings bump here in the offseason. And then Shawnee, you and I were talking about this through chat in the actual on the actual video. Kevin Roberts, the ratings have gone up a little bit. You can see we drafted him. We drafted him this year, right? 2026. Is that right? Yeah, 2026. So yeah, I mean, he looks okay. He looks more than okay, but we will see how things go there. He was our top pick. So yeah, that's kind of the way things have been going. Playoffs are about to start. From a standings perspective, we're going to be playing a wild card against, I think, the Cubs, right? The Cubs are the Rockies. I think it'll be the Cubs, right? Because the Rockies had the worst record of the 3 wild card teams, so it'll be us against the Cubs more than likely. You can see Lazaro Montes for Seattle hit 60 home runs this season, drove in 120, which is something in Seattle. I hope not. Whitlock is so much more effective out of the bullpen, so I hope that's where Alex Cora chooses to use him. I think the rotation is deep enough if everybody else is healthy, between Giolito and Buehler and Crochet and who else am I forgetting? Bayo, Cutter Crawford, and Tanner Houck. They've got more than enough starters that they don't need Whitlock. So that's my hope. Whitlock was so good as a reliever and not so good as a starter. Yeah, Brian Bayo. They paid him a ton of money, so he's got to be a starter. So, they bought out his ARB numbers, and that's what ends up happening, right? You end up you're investing and hoping that he ends up being worth it. Joey Gallo led the National League in home runs. He had 42 home runs for Cincinnati this year. Had a nice bounce back season. 3.2 WAR, his most WAR since, his 23-year-old season with Texas. All right. Career high in home runs. Struck out less than 200 times. I see you, Joey Gallo. We talked about this last week, Breeze, right? The only real overpay, I think, on the Red Sox roster is Masa Yoshida. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. So anyway, Skeens isn't going to win the Cy Young. He's probably going to finish second. It's likely to go to Aaron Nola, who led the National League in ERA and wins. Skeens led the league in strikeouts. He was second in WAR, second in wins as well. So, yeah, it's time to jump into the postseason. If there's any, look at the Orioles winning 11 games in a row to finish the season, to overtake Tampa and win the AL East. Rusney Castillo, no. Yeah, Rusney Castillo was worthless. At least Yoshida has a bat. Castillo couldn't hit at all. If there's any team or any player you want to look at, let me know. We can jump in. And since I got a Cardinal fan in here, we'll take a look at the St. Louis Cardinals. Jordan Walker. It's a good year for Jordan. I'm sure you would take that, Cardinal fan, right? 41 home runs, a 1,002 OPS, 8.3 WAR. Mason Wynn had a good year. 7.5 WAR. I'd say that's better than a good year. Excuse me. I'm drinking a Samuel Adams Golden non-alcoholic. See? Samuel Adams Golden non-alcoholic. It's good. I like the Sam Adams. Lars Nootbaar. Arenado. Surprised they haven't moved him yet. If this was real life, they would move him. We'll see what happens, though. Sonny Gray, Tink Hence, Trevor Rogers, Tyler Alexander, Trevor Richards are their starters. Okay. 11 games out of first. Not bad, I guess. But we have some playoffs to get to. I honestly didn't think that was going to happen when the season started. I knew we were going to have a good pitching staff. I knew the pitching staff was going to be solid. I didn't necessarily think that it would be quite this good. Job injury diagnosis. All right, he's day-to-day for a week. All right, so our playoff roster. Is there anybody not on the roster that we want to put on the roster? I don't think so. Selvage will leave in AAA. Why is Bader not on the roster? What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm going to take Duran out. Bader's going to go on the roster. Everybody else is where they are, so we are going to go ahead and stick Bader back in there in center field. Oops. And then I like to do this in the postseason as well, because I don't want the AI doing just dumb things with the roster unless somebody gets hurt. Just don't ever start. Like, this is the starting lineup that I want for every postseason game. Just don't change it. Ritter will back up in case someone gets hurt. And I think we just sim until we get to like a, game 7 of a postseason tournament or something. And then, let's see, copy the depth chart. If we get to a game 7, maybe we'll let the game sort of play it out, so to speak. Beavers. No, I want Blaze Jordan as my DH there. All right. So, yeah, I think we're going to be taking on. We got to go to the pitching staff. So, we got Job is out for a week. So, we'll just take him out of the rotation here for this playoff series. That's fine. I mean, we'll run with what we have here. I'm totally okay with this. Yeah, we're taking on the Cubs. Let's look at the Cubs. Chicago Cubs. So yeah, once 26 comes out, I will likely be doing a Let's Play on, well, not likely. I will be doing a Let's Play on obviously my channel here. And then I think I'll be doing one for GM Games as well. I was talking to Chris a little bit about that today, so we'll see how that goes. Cubs, middle of the pack, both offensively and pitching / defensively. Good year for PCA, a very good year for PCA, 7.2 WAR. And he's probably going to keep Bader from winning the Gold Glove in center field. He was phenomenal. Morel at 30, Ballesteros at 26, Shaw, Happ, Suzuki. Oh, that's a lot of home runs. They had 7 players with at least 20 home runs. They finished 3rd in the National League in home runs. Pitching staff was okay. I mean, Horton was fine. Justin Steele was pretty good. I think literally was league average. Gave him 200 innings. It's the type of pitcher I love, though, that extreme ground ball pitcher. They're going to be without Wicks and without Dansby Swanson, so they're without their starting shortstop for the postseason. They're moving Matt Shaw to shortstop. Oof. Maybe we can take advantage of that. So that's who we're going to be playing here in the postseason. Yeah. So Cade Horton against Paul Skeens in game 1. Of course I remember Julio Lugo. He was on the 07 championship team. He's also accused of beating up his girlfriend. All right, game 1. Cade Horton, Paul Skeens in Pittsburgh. Goes to the Pirates. We win easily 7-1. K-Fish drives in 2. Beavers hits a home run. Bader has 2 hits. Skeens is electric. Why did Job... Okay, well, it's fine, I guess. Job pitched an Instagram. Oh, yeah, Surviving Grady. Yeah, I love Surviving Grady. I follow him on every social media account. Yeah, I saw that, Breeze. I posted it, yesterday, I think? I saw that yesterday. Yeah, he posts all sorts of stuff. All right, game 2, Justin Steele, Jared Jones, as we look for the 2-game sweep. Oh, we lose 2-0. 2 runs in the top of the first. 2-run homer. So it looks like Cassie walked leading off the inning. Armstrong homered. So they scored 2 runs, 2 batters into the game, and then that was it. Nobody scored another run the rest of the game. All right, so they got Ben Brown. Do we want to go Shane Baz in game? I don't want to be looking at the Cubs. Do we want to go Baz or do we want to go Luzardo here in game 3? I feel like Luzardo is the better pick here. We're going to go Luzardo in game 3. All right, here we go. Game 3, we either move on or the season comes to an end. The season comes to an end. We lose 5-1. Well, it sucks. It's a very jarring end to the regular season. We pick up 1 run in the final 2 games. Luzardo in what's likely his final start as a Pirate. Gives up 4 hits, 4 runs, and only 2 hits in 5 2/3 innings. Not great. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, so we lose. Well, it's disappointing, especially after Skeens dominated in game 1. But now we're going to have some decisions to make. So the Orioles will play the Rays, the Mariners, and the Guardians, the Phillies and the Brewers, the Cubs, and the Dodgers. See if the Dodgers can win 4 World Series in a row. They won, 20? They've won the first 2 in our playthroughs. They won 23, 24, and 25. Oh, look at all these players retiring. It's all right. We will live. Showcase, International Amateurs. Andres Ortiz looks like a pretty dominant pitcher, so we will invite him. Carlos Aporta. It looks okay. I mean, it looks good, but the control, I don't like the control. Let's see what we've got for bats. We can come back and add him later if we want to. Thiago Aborim, a.k.a. Sugar Bear. Yeah, we'll ask him to come to our camp. Hector Garcia. Wow, look at those catcher defensive ratings at age 17. Yes, sir. Melvin Guzman. Yep, he looks really good. Julio Linares. Yeah, you just go right down the list here on these. That's the way I do it. I mean, maybe you guys do it differently and you choose a different grouping of players, I guess. I don't know. Bernie Lopez. Yep. So we got 7. We can invite 3 more. John Aguirre. Looks all right. Like Antonio Monge. Invite Aguirre and Revelar. The low work ethic I don't like. We'll do Reynaga. We'll invite these 10 guys. Run practice. playoffs end. Yep, Dodgers advance. Orioles, Guardians, Phillies, Dodgers. Looks like the Dodgers may win their 4th World Series in a row. Not ideal. Guardians and Dodgers. So the Cleveland Guardians are the only thing between us and a 4-peat for the LA Dodgers. Two nothing, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. Come on, Guardians. There we go. So the Guardians end the Dodger dynasty after a three-peat for the LA Dodgers. The Cleveland Guardians win the 2026 World Series. Hey, we got a good score. Good for us. All right. So, new budget, team payroll of about 110. Yeah, so we are at that number right now, which means we have to make some decisions, season goals. I don't care because I have myself unable to be fired. Marcus Stroman retired and is going into politics. Okay. Mason White is the number 3 prospect in baseball. We got arbitration and the facilities. So, Aaron Boone was fired by the Yankees. Dodgers fired Dave Roberts. Really? He won 2 straight World Series. Won 100 games, 5 out of 6 seasons. And look at the Dodgers, man. This is just crazy. They've won 100 games every year that they possibly could have, except for 2024. I knew they were good, but I didn't realize how crazy that was. That's nuts. All right, so what do we want to do? First thing I want to do is, so we're 50 below average and fan loyalty is poor, which is actually up from where it used to be. So Baz and Guerrero, we need to figure something out. So let's just quickly see if we get any offers for Vlad. Okay, so we can move the contract. I mean, we're not going to get anything for it. It'll be a true salary dump, but that's okay. How are the A's going to take on Vlad's contract? What if I connect the two of them? Just out of curiosity, can I just trade them both to the same team and be done with it? I mean, I can. They won't give me anything. Cooper Zherpe, right? Is that how you pronounce his name? Zherpe? I mean, he's gone. I just want to see if I can get any sort of value and then maybe back off on the retention a little bit. I mean, I'm happy to trade him straight up for 23-year-old Ryan Forcucci, who isn't particularly good, but I don't really care. Woody Hedin, Homer Bush Jr. He's fallen off. I remember in previous versions of the game, he was quite good. Randy Vasquez. I mean, I'd trade him for Vasquez if I can get them to. Okay, so I can get Vasquez, and I am going to need a couple of bullpen arms. So what's the plan here? Mojica, sure. He is a bad third baseman. San Diego willing to give us anything else? I don't even know why I bother. Hire him duty. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he does. Dave Roberts is. I haven't looked at his numbers, so I don't know what he has, but one would assume that base running would be one of his strengths. Joshua Mears. Worst offer you've ever received. Fair enough. I mean, I'm fine with it as is. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else I can get out of it. This guy looks pretty damn good. They have him listed as a reliever. I wouldn't, but that's just me. Seaver King. That's a cool name. That is a cool name. Give me this guy too. Mike Villani. Nope. All right. I'm fine with this. So we're going to move Vlad's contract. So that was the main thing I wanted to do this offseason was move his contract, and we'll get a 28-year-old reliever who is making the minimum and can throw 94 to 96 and is a ground ball pitcher. I am fine with that. Sorry, Vlad. Let's see what that does to our fan interest. Knocks it to a 46, but it gives us money, and that is the important thing. So we bring Vasquez on. I still am going to move Shane Baz, but I want to do some player development stuff here first. So I think we start with our kind of our five. I think we got to start with Hagen Smith. I got to get Hagen Smith's control up. He's got to do that. It's got to be a priority. Skeens, again, I want to focus on his strength and conditioning, but I'm afraid if he fails, he's going to end up being fragile. But we're gonna give it a try. Tamar Johnson. Let's work on. I'd like him to. I mean, the bat's fine. The glove is fine. I would like him to run a little bit more, maybe. So let's work on base stealing technique. Henry Davis. I want him to work on his defense. He's hard. That's not encouraging. Let's work on gap power. See if we can get him to have a little bit more power in his bat. CJ Kafis. Kafis really belongs in left, I think. We can have him work on his defense in left a little bit later on, but we'll go plate discipline for Kafis here. O'Neal Cruz. He's gonna make a lot of errors, man. Can he get? Yeah, again, improving at short is bad. Let's work on. Let's work on his base running as well. Maybe we can turn him into a 20-30 type guy. Let's do it this way. Jordan Jackson, Job. What do we want to work on with Job? It's his control, because it's an easier one to work on than picking up stuff. What else we got? Lonnie White. I want to do something with some of our young guys, so I think that might be it for. We can work on Lonnie White's defense later. I'm not worried about that. So let's look at our prospects now. Mason White. Contact, gap power, power eye. Yeah, let's work on some base stealing technique for him too. Dawell Joseph. Let's work on his batting eye. And then Schoolcraft will work on his control. Yeah, that'll work. Go ahead and ban that. Man, it's cold up here. All right. Let's see. What else do we have to do? Arbitration. That's what we have to do. We got to do arbitration. AJ Hinch was fired. Joe Spada was fired. Alex Anthopoulos was fired. Schilt was fired. Baltimore was sold. Interesting. Okay. They won the AL East and then were sold the following season. All right. ARB. That's a lot of arbitration, man. We should be able to save ourselves some money in arbitration, though, so that's a good thing. Boyle. I mean, for that kind of money, for 1.2, I think it's something we want to do. What else we got? Jackson Jobe, 2.6. We'll get him for what, 2.5. Jared Jones, 3.8. Should be 3.65. If there's anybody watching who doesn't know why I offer contracts to everybody in arbitration, it's because you get the fan interest bump if they are popular players. So Skeens is eligible for arbitration. See, it said he wasn't. That was not expected. What are his ARB numbers look like? Where is he? Let's do it like this. 5, so 6, 14, 22, 27. 6, 14, 22, 27. 6, 14, 22, 27. 6, 14, 22, 27. 6, 14. Yeah, I mean, he's actually making less the next 2 seasons than he will. I mean, I could probably take this down a bit. Will he do something like that? He will. So actually, we'll get him cheaper this year, significantly cheaper this year. We'll save about $3 million this year. We'll save money next year as well, about $1.5 million. We save about $1 million the following year, and then it gets expensive, but we won't be playing this long, so I'm not really worried about it. Let's go ahead and offer Paul Skeens 7 years, $177 million. I wasn't expecting that, but he doesn't want really much money at all that first year of arbitration, so I will take it. Ronel Blanco missed almost all of last season, but we will re-sign him as well. 1.8, 1.7, 725, I guess. Ronzi. All right, let's see. Got a lot of players here we have to offer to. I think Ali Sanchez, we're going to move on from. I think we have a couple of catching options in our system. So we can go ahead and withdraw the offer from him. Does anybody want Duran? Otherwise, we will remove the option we will non-tender him as well. No, nobody wants Duran either. Okay. So we will non-tender Ezekiel Duran and Ali Sanchez. Johnny DeLuca wants 3.2. 3.50. Is that enough? It is. Okay. Again, for somebody who plays very good defense, Henry Davis, we need to lock up. 5.7. Give him 5.5. He'll take it. Tyler Holton wants 4, so 3.85 should get it done. Yep. And then we've got Oviedo, or then we've got so Pepio and Paz. I'm gonna hold, or Baz. I'm gonna hold on to here for a second. We'll deal with them in a minute. We will offer Oviedo, who wants 3.6. We'll offer him 3.45. Ledzinski wasn't particularly good last year, but doesn't want a lot of money, so that should be fine too. And then the last one is Ronzi Contreras, It's a slight upgrade. I'm fine with giving him 3, 4, 5 for another year, and then we could push it down the road to see what it looks like next year. All right, so Shane Baz, and I can't do anything with him yet, so let's sim ahead of. Oh, let's look at. Do we have any minor leaguers that we want to hang on to? Alcantara, no. Holderman's not on the 40-man anymore. Eli Wilson, no. I don't care about any of these guys. All right, so let's sim ahead of day. Bader and Luzardo. What does Luzardo want? What's 18? Bader. 3 years at 5. Let's go 2 years at 4 exactly. He wants 3 years at, I mean, I'll do 3 at like 3.5. Wants 3.8. I want to give him 3 years at 3.8. That's 3 years at $10 million. I don't think so. We've got Lonnie White, who we can pay the minimum to. I don't think we're going to do anything there. All right, so let's offer Baz solo first and see what sorts of returns we can get. Nothing. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Why nothing? Huh. Okay. What about if we add Pepio? I'd hate to just non-tender these guys, but that might be what ends up happening. Max Meyer with the Marlins. I mean, that's not bad. What are his ratings? I mean, he got better in September. He's basically, I mean, the overalls have spiked here a little bit. It's not a bad get, I guess. There might be something else we can get in there to make it a little bit more appealing. Bachman, no. My nose is itchy. It's because I come up into my office. I haven't cleaned my office, like scrubbed it down in a while. So I come up here once a week now that I'm not working up here. And it's just very itchy. Drew Rom. Nope. Taj Bradley. He's fallen on hard times a bit. Yeah, the ratings dipped right at the beginning of the playthrough. Keyshawn Askew. He looks okay. Let's see. What else do we got? Let's go back and let's talk to Miami, I guess. Wherever they are, right here. Well, Myers making 1.6 in ARB. What's his ARB number? 2.8. That's like, I mean, we'd save some. We would save some. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, ultimately, the home run, I mean, extreme fly ball for Baz. Pepio's normal, but both of them, that home run allowed number has dipped to 45, and that scares me a little. Let's see. Can we get another reliever from them? Not for any of those. Well, I mean, maybe Blaze Jordan. I don't really care about Blaze Jordan. A 22-year-old reliever with 70 stuff. I mean, do I really care about Blaze Jordan? We'd look like idiots if we accepted this offer. Would we, though? I mean, would we? Really? I don't know that we would. We traded Christian Curtis to Miami in the Luzardo deal. Dombrowski was okay for them this year. particularly good. Yeah, most of the big names for Miami didn't survive this playthrough. Yuri Perez was not good. Masa Yoshida is with the Miami Marlins and has been since the very first year. Interesting. How can you give up on Blaze Jordan in real life? He's like 22 years old or something like that. He's just, I mean, he's behind a bunch of people. You know, he's going to be playing. Well, that's, yeah. I mean, you know, he's behind some other players in terms of not development, but you know, he's not going to play ahead of Cassius right now, and there's just no place for him. He's been fine, but he's a first baseman who has no other position. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have the power associated with the corner position, so he may face the obstacle of not getting regular playing time. That's exactly what is happening to him. Stephen Piscotty was 25 when he made. Yeah, I mean, prospects, you never know. I mean, next week Tristan Cassius could, you know, blow out his knee, end his career, and then Blaze Jordan could be the starting first baseman in June. You just don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not the type to give up quickly on prospects. So we'll just sort of have to see how it goes. Caballero, will you give me? Banfield. Oh, they'll give me Banfield. So there's my backup catcher. Right? Do I have a catcher in AAA that I can call up or no? I don't really know that I do. I just sort of said that I did when I said I didn't want to re-sign Ali Sanchez. You'd probably be crucified by Sox fans if that happens now. What? If one of their prospects didn't start until they were 25? I mean, yeah. I mean, these guys that they've got in the minor leagues, they gotta find a way to get them ready. So I think I'm gonna make this deal. So we're gonna send Baz and if Cat. Well, yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, but there's certain things you can't control, right? Like, I mean, if he blows out his knee, you know, whose fault is that? You know, I mean, if they overplay him in spring training, maybe, but you know, can you really blame them for that? Just checking on there. Yeah, so Pepio is extremely popular. So that one's going to hurt unless either of these guys. So he's very popular. He's unknown. And he's unknown. So, yeah, I'm okay with this. So we're going to go from Baz and Pepio to Meyer and Balderas. It says that our money isn't touched, but it is. Baz, I think, was 5 and Pepio was 4. So we're going to get cheaper. We're going to get younger. And we get our backup catcher. So Pepio, fan interest declines. Max Meyer, it increases. We're at a 46 right now, and we're gonna have like $40 million to play with once we get to the off season, and that's pretty awesome. So, and salvage will be up. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have some money. We're gonna have some money, and potentially we're going to have Skeens locked up. So that'll be one we don't have to worry about. Let's go here in international amateurs and let's go ahead and run our practice. You know, I haven't watched a single preseason game yet this year. I don't know when I'm going to have time. I had a doubleheader yesterday. It was my first baseball game of the year. And my very first baseball game of the year, I called a walk-off win this year. So that was fun. So team I was calling the game for was down 4-2 in the 9th. Leadoff hitter hit a 2-run homer to tie it. The next batter reached on a single and then stole second base, and then a bloop hit into the outfield, scored the winning run. So I called a walk-off win in game 1, which was pretty cool. And then I called a cycle in game 2, so it was quite the weekend for me. So we signed everyone. We signed Skeens. So we get fan interest bump there. We get the fan interest bump for Henry Davis, for Jared Jones. So we were at 48. We are now at 55, so that number has spiked. Yeah, and Skeens doesn't start to get expensive until where? Here? Where is he? Yeah, I mean, 21 is where he really starts to get expensive. I mean, I don't mind paying him 12. So 2.8 next year, then 12.5 the year after that are both potential discounts off of what it said he was going to ask for. And then by this point, we should be playing out of the park 26. By this point, hopefully we've won it all and I can shut it down. But yeah, we're not there yet. Let's get to Gold Gloves. Job signs Oakland and Atlanta. Jordan Diaz for Ryan Lasco. And Gage Wood. I thought that may have been James Wood initially, but he doesn't play for Philadelphia. Gold Glove. Yeah, I saw that. Murphy with a cracked rib. He's going to be down for a while. Torey Lavulo is retiring. Okay. Hey, the St. Louis owner, William DeWitt, passed away, and his son, Greg, will take over. Cardinal fans, there you go. You get a new owner. AL Gold Gloves. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can pause it. If you aren't, I guess you can rewind the video. We had no Gold Gloves this year. Yeah, PCA won the Gold Glove over Harrison Bader, which we kind of knew was going to happen, but that's okay. Yeah, Luis Gil's shut down for a while too. Can't say I'm all that disappointed from a baseball perspective. Aaron Bummer, who we actually thought about signing in the offseason, wins the reliever of the year, Emmanuel Clase. In the American League, Platinum Sticks, AL, Naylor, Alvarez, Holiday, Henderson, Seager, Langford, Rodriguez, Carter, and Montez. And in the NL, Tamar Johnson wins the Silver Slugger at second base. Rafael Devers at third for the Dodgers. Shohei. Yeah, all right. Well, we got one Silver Slugger. I'll take it. Hey, we won Rookie of the Year as well. Go us. In the AL, it's Bryce Matthews with the Astros, and then Tamar Johnson wins it. He gets all 30-place votes. He was a unanimous winner for the AL Rookie of the Year. Rob Thompson is your Manager of the Year in the NL. Cy Young, AL, goes to Garrett Crochet of the Boston Red Sox. They are allowing facial hair now, so there's no curse. Now, are you saying that because they're allowing facial hair that there's now a curse? Is that what you're saying? So Skeens finishes second. Yeah, as expected, Nola walks away with the Cy Young in the National League. Skeens second, Yamamoto, Alcantara. Then there's Jared Jones finishing fifth. It's two of the top five. And then the MVPs. Jackson Holiday in the NL, or in the AL. Jordan Walker wins the National League Most Valuable Player. Do we have anybody here? Skeens got a couple of votes. Did I want to... What did Luzardo want? Yeah, I'm not going to offer him. I mean, I could offer... I mean, I can offer him a contract now. But let's see what he wants when we get to the offseason. What about... Gossman wants 32. All right. So neither of those guys are going to come back. That's totally fine. Yes, I don't know, maybe. I love Bree's responses, man. I love his responses. What are we doing? It's arbitration. Oh, Max Meyer. Shoot. It's too late now, so we may as well just sim ahead. I didn't even think to offer him an arbitration number. Shoot. All right, well, it's fine. We'll lose a little bit of money. Yeah, we lose about 100K because I would have offered him 2.7, so that's all right. All right, free agents. What do we got? Let's hope for some good international free agents. I haven't seen very many of those since I started playing again. So far, nothing. Nothing. That's disappointing. Free agents. Anybody of note? Nope. Burns, it's all pitchers, which is fine. We don't really need any pitchers. Go to our pitching staff. 5-man rotation for next year. Job will be our number 3. Selvage will be our number 4. Hagen Smith's going to start in AAA. So maybe we do need a pitcher for a year. Maybe we do need a veteran pitcher. Maybe another bullpen arm. Offensively, so we got Henry Davis catching. Right now we don't have anybody at first. We got Tamar Johnson at second. Neil Cruz at short. Nolan Jones at third. Do we move? I think we moved DeLuca to right this year. He's got the range got better this past season. We could put Kafis in left. White is our center fielder. And then Beavers. So yeah, we're going to need a couple of bats. We need a first baseman and then maybe a DH against lefties. I don't know that we have any bats in the minor leagues ready to go. We really don't. Our closest bat's probably Mason White. So, but we have plenty of money, so let's see what's available. Batting ratings. So we got $54 million. We have plenty of money. But how much of that do we want to spend is the question. We can get Ian Happ to play first base for us. He wouldn't require a ton of money. Max Muncy, 36 home runs a year ago. Good power. I don't mind the idea of Happ. He's better against righties than he is lefties, but let's look at it this way. Let's add demand and free agent type. So we can see if we have to pay, if we have to give a comp pick. So Bellinger only wants $2.8 million to play center field. Good against righties, not so good against lefties. And there ain't a lot here. I mean, Happ may be that option. And we needed a DH against lefties, right? Yeah, that was the other thing we needed. Bader's request changed. Now he only wants 2.2. I mean, sure. We can offer him $2 million for a year. And maybe that makes Lonnie White our 4th outfielder, which would be fine too. Yeah, I mean, that would be fine too. Beavers can't play the infield. So, yeah, I mean, that gives us 5 outfielders, but I'm okay with that. We've got Ryan Ritter who can back up at both third and short, so we can afford, especially if you bring in someone like Happ, where he's got some positional flexibility. Right? And he's good against righties. He's passable against lefties. How long of a contract does he want? That's the big thing. I'm not giving you 5 years, my man. I will do something like this. Okay. So 10 million, 10 million, 10 million with a $1 million buyout in year 3. Sounds reasonable, I guess. Pitchers. You know what I should have done was, before I offered the contract, I should have done this. The overall drops. He hasn't had a ratings drop, though, in over a year. So that tells me, I mean, he was bad last year, but if he can give us any of these seasons, I'll take it. Bad last year. Better as the season wore on, though. Well, until September. He was good in July and August. Yeah, I mean, we offered the contract, so we'll leave it as is at this point. Pitchers. All right, so you got Burns, who wants 27 and a comp pick. You got Lizardo. Who's this? Sam Bachman. His nose is itchy. I'm going to offer Bachman a contract because he doesn't want anything other than a minor league deal. I said we could use a reliever and maybe a starter, but none of those guys. Tanner Banks has got 65 control. He looks all right. Nathan Eovaldi, a really good year last year, but he's wrecked. I don't know that. I don't know that you can trust that. A lot of negatives there over the last couple of years for Nate. I might wait until I'm not paying him $7 million. I might wait until the AJ Puck. He only wants 3.2. Sure. It feels like a good contract for a year. Ground ball guy. Sure. All right. So we've offered our center fielder, a first baseman. I mean, Hap can play first. We still need that other side of the platoon with Beavers. We need a lefty bat that can hit righties that won't cost a fortune. Muncy wanted like 14. Yeah, I don't want to pay him that much. Seth Brown, what's $4 million? He came off back-to-back 30 home run seasons for them. For the A's. I don't like the contact, the power. No, I need a righty who can hit lefties. I'm thinking backwards here. Yeah, I need a righty. I need a righty to replace or to be the other end of that platoon with Beavers. And Duvall's got, it's weird. Duvall's got a reverse split. Actually better against righties than he is against lefties. So you got Beavers, you got Dylan Moore. Very flexible. 70 gap power, 55-55. I mean, it looks okay. Maybe a Dylan Moore. Like somebody with a bit better contact, maybe. What about Suzuki? Maybe say a Suzuki? It's literally another outfielder. Suzuki's not a bad option, though. He's pretty good defensively. He only wants $4.4 million. He has virtually no split. Yeah, we're going to make an offer to Seiya Suzuki. In fact, let's make it a 2-year deal. Let's see if we can do that. Okay. So we're going to have a ton of outfielders, which, I mean, I guess is okay. DeLuca can play DeLuca can play, I think he can play pretty much anywhere, right? I mean, he's passable on the infield if absolutely needed, but we'll have DeLuca. Yeah, so we'll have Kafis, White, and DeLuca as our starting outfield. Beavers will platoon with Suzuki at DH, and they'll both back up at middle in the outfield. We'll have Bader backing up in center, and then we'll have Ian Happ as our starting first baseman. I mean, I think that works. I'm still sitting on 9 followers. I need one more. I want to get to 10. I want that to be double digits. I've been stuck on 9 for a couple of weeks now. All right, so we made a handful of offers, and we still have plenty of money. So let's go ahead. I mean, we are going to take fan interest hits when Gaussman and Lizardo sign with another team, but that's okay. Hopefully they get offset by the players that we bring in. I think we do still need to bring in a starter. Or did we do that? I don't know that we brought in a starter. I think we brought in a couple of relievers. It looks like we're going to have a lot of relievers on our team. I mean, I guess our 5th starter could be Ashcraft if we absolutely needed it to be. And right now, that's what it is. So right now, this is what our rotation looks like. Skeens, Jones, Job, Selvage, and Ashcraft. And from Off-season free agents. Puck could be a starter, but I'm probably bringing him in as a reliever. Do we really want Bader this year? I mean, I feel like, who is our backup center fielder if we don't bring back Bader? It's DeLuca because he's got 65 range. Right. Okay, so we don't need. We don't need Bader, but his defense was so good last year. I think that makes such a big difference, and it also protects us in case Lonnie White's not actually ready. So I think we're good. I think we're going to stick with what we did here. International amateurs, international scouting. We'll run practice. Let's get to Hall of Fame voting is what I'm trying to say. So I have a job interview tomorrow. I am pretty excited about that. I've been unemployed it'll be exactly a month tomorrow. First time in my adult life I've ever been unemployed, and tomorrow will be a month. It's been a great month. I got to be totally honest with you. It's been an absolutely fantastic month. But yeah, I'm excited. I have an interview tomorrow. It's in the same industry I was in before, so I'm not thrilled about that. But, benefits and some additional money while I continue to look for that job that I really want. So wish me luck, pray, do whatever it is you do, or do nothing. That's fine too. You never manually vote for awards and Hall of Famers. I usually don't either, but I've gotten into it a little bit as I've gotten back into 25 here. I don't know why. I don't know. I feel like playing a role in it, and I'm going to vote for the people that I always vote for, even though Hunter won't make it. I'll vote for Pedroia, even though he won't make it. Buster Posey, I will vote for him. I will vote for A-Rod, even though he likely won't make it. Vizquel, I will vote for. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I'm not terribly worried about it. It's at a company that's got like 4 or 5 people that worked with me at the company I was let go from, so they've already put in a good word for me. So unless I go in there and tell the interviewer to go pound sand or whatever, I should be okay. But I don't know. I don't know about that. I might go to Sunday streams, just because like with my old job, and I think I'm only gonna vote for those 8 players. My old job, I literally was just sitting here. I had my work computer here to my left. I had my gaming computer here to the right, and I would play games all day while I would, in between phone calls and conference calls and things like that. So it will give me more opportunity to record videos, and then I'll figure out a way to get some live streams in. Maybe not on Monday nights. It might go back to Sundays or maybe Saturdays. Haven't really thought that far ahead. I'm just trying to get through tomorrow. You know what I mean? This is not a trade I'm interested in. Let's see. Josh Hader was dealt to the Dodgers. Okay. Rich get richer, I guess. So far, everybody they haven't turned me down yet, which is a good thing. Maybe there will be somebody on the trade block who has an expiring contract. So no improvement for Tamar Johnson in base stealing. We got successful base stealing for O'Neill Cruz. And then Mason White, he got better as well. So cool. All right, so now we go back into player development. Back into the development lab. Back to Tamar Johnson and ask him to work on his defense, I guess. Yeah, ask him to work on his defense. O'Neill Cruz, man, why did his that bat needs to get a little bit better. Needs to get a little bit better. Let's work on batting eye for him, and then we will switch back to prospects and send Mason White back and ask him to work on his defense as well. I don't know what I'm going to do because White's not a shortstop. He's a second baseman. So I'm going to have White and Johnson in the majors at some point. All right. So yeah, I got 10 days, right? 10 days after today to figure this out. So Ian Happ signs the contract. Seiya Suzuki signs the contract. So that's good. Suzuki was a 1 year contract. It was a 2-year contract for $3.4 per year. And then Ian Happ's was a 3-year, $30 million, but that third year was a team option. So cool. Fan interest up to a 63. So let's bump this now to 32.25. Winter meetings. That's what I wanted to do. So we should have plenty of money to. We lost Gaussman, so we were at a 63. We're now down to a 61. That's fine. Trade block. Arenado. Who is this? Karuho Yamada. Must have been an international guy. Yeah. Arenado. We don't need. Pitchers. All right. $18 million. He's a free agent after this season. Again, I'm just sort of thinking, are these teams looking to just move the contract, or do they want like legit talent in return? I mean, there's a couple of names here that I wouldn't mind taking a shot at. Musgrove is the first guy, depending on his movement dropped to 55 in June. He's the oldest of the bunch. Javier, he dropped. He got most of it back. Lost it in March. Got the stamina back, but the movement and control both dipped. He didn't get either of those back yet. And then Michael King, who's probably the worst starter of the bunch. So let's talk to San Diego about Musgrove. He's got 10-5. Damn it. That's disappointing. What about Christian Javier? Make this work. Okay. So, I mean, they're not looking to just dump the contract, but I think we can work with this. Suero. I mean, I'd give you Estuer Suero. Yeah, we should be able to finish this here with Yordani De Los Santos. Javier's just the 1 year, right? Yeah. Let's just see how much we can get them to retain. Every dollar we can get them to retain is a dollar we don't have to pay them. All right, so we're going to trade Estuar Suero and Yordani De Los Santos to the Houston Astros for Christian Javier. Good year last year. It wasn't great 2 years ago. Durable. Yeah, I like this deal. Gets us another arm that we're only going to be paying about $10 million to this year. Gives us that fifth starter or maybe a fourth starter. Gives us that veteran in there. I think our pitching staff is coming along nicely. There really wasn't anything from a hitter perspective, right? I mean, let's just sim ahead a day and see if this changes at all. No. What about $25 million? We'll have about $20 million after Puck and Bader sign. What about next year? That's sick. Won't be able to look at that just yet. is this button? Add to my channel. So I'm just looking at something on the Stream Manager and Twitch. Interesting. Okay. Well, I didn't know that was there. Paredes. Meh. Got to be more hitters than that coming up for free agency. At any rate, we made a nice, I think, deal there for a starting pitcher, and we're gonna hope that there's gonna be some improvement to some of our hitters this season. I think is probably the plan here, right? Because we replaced Vlad Guerrero with Ian Happ, Seiya Suzuki, Christian Javier, Harrison Bader, and AJ Puck. So we get deeper for sure. Yeah, and Javier is probably a 1-year guy. Yeah, I mean that's more than I can afford. But all right, let's go to the end of the winter meetings. Let's go up to the Rule 5. We'll see how far I'm gonna go tonight. I was up early today. I was up at like 6 o'clock this morning, and I am feeling it. So we'll see. We'll see. Anybody that I mean, can we trade Jeb and Castillo now? I don't know. Let's see. Get a bat for him of any sort. Yeah, we can get a bad bat for him. It appears. Powell, Griff O'Farrell. That's a name. 'Gleyber Torres from the Yankees. I want to pay $22 million for Gleyber. Costa, meh. If anybody takes those two players, then it is what it is, I guess. All right. Rule 5. Was there anybody else? I should probably just take one more quick look just to make sure that I don't lose any of these players that I want to keep. Doesn't appear. I mean, if somebody takes Jeb, I bet someone takes Oviedo, but that's fine. Ramirez I got to put on because and Zazueta. Those are the two that I want to put on. I think someone would take Zazueta for sure. Put Polanco or put Ramirez on there as well because we do need another catcher in case one of our catchers gets hurt. We don't really have an option. So we will do that. Now we'll go to the Rule 5. And let's go up to our pick. We lost Carlson Reed. Okay. I mean, shame on me, I guess. A ground ball pitch. I mean, stamina's low, but, it's fine. 21-year-old who's nowhere close to ready. Whoa, look at those defensive ratings. Can't really hit, but can play everywhere on the diamond. Andrew Abbott with the Reds. I don't know. I don't know that we're going to be doing anything in the Rule 5. Max Jacob Reimer. Good eye. That's about it. Arias. Not ready. Yeah, I don't think there's anything here that we're going to go after. We're at that point, I guess, with our... that's our player. With our save, where the Rule 5 doesn't really do much for us. We lose anybody else? We do not. Reed was the very first pick. Dylan O'Ray. It's going to be interesting. He's going to hit no home runs, but good speed, decent defense, good bat, high work ethic. I like that pick. Gino Groover. That's an awesome name. That is a fantastic name. Braga from San Diego. Another good pick. A lot of Rule 5s. Texas took 7 players in the Rule 5 this year. Go Rangers. Let's get to next month. Curious where we are with Harrison Bader signs, AJ Puck signs, fans like that. Bachman signs, cool. I'm curious where we're going to be with our budget. I don't have enough room on the 40 man. Of course I don't. Carter Binns can get DFA'd. Emmett Shaheen can get DFA'd. That should give us the room for Puck. Bader. Cool, I guess. That allows us to leave Smith in AAA for now. So revenue per game is up. So my guess is we will have a slight bump to our budget. Slight, we'll see. We may take a fan interest hit when Luzardo signs elsewhere. And we still got $25 million, so we can still add if we need to. We'll need $86 million payroll. International amateurs, international scouting, run practice. All right, let's get to international amateurs. Do some voting. Yeah, so I think I need a separate, like I've got my laptop monitor, but I need a separate monitor, I think, to, Luzardo, fan interest almost crashed. That hurts. So we go from so revenue per game is, I'm pointing at the screen, like you can see what I'm pointing at. So revenue per game went from plus 11 to plus 6 after Luzardo signed elsewhere, but we're still up. We were at 50 when the season started, so we're at 59 right now. So I'll take that. International amateurs, yeah, and Breeze, you talked about Monday night streams. Not many people are here. I think that's the fact that it's a Monday night stream. I think the plan probably will be Sunday nights. If I get this job, it'll probably be Sunday nights. It might even be Sunday nights going forward anyway. Just so that there can be some more people here. Not that I don't love chatting with you and Cardinal fan all night, but it'd be cool to have some additional folks in the chat, and probably be easier on a Sunday night than it is on a Monday. That's my guess anyway. Player development lab. What else can we do here? So Kevin Roberts. Let's work on his base stealings. It's an easy thing to focus on. The active roster. Anything I can work on with Johnson? Not really. My phone is buzzing. Selvage. Let's work on his secondary pitches. I think that's something I can do. No, I can't. It's too late for that. All right. Well, it sucks. Nolan Jones. You can work on his defense at third. That'll work. All right. International amateurs. There was a lights out pitcher. Then there's this guy, Juan Perez. We still have 5.7. I assume this is a budget thing. The lower the team budget, the more money you get, I think is how it works. So this guy's a stud. Potentially a stud, I guess. And then Ortiz. Man, that's a good pitcher. I mean, ultimately, I don't think it's going to matter because we're going to be done before. His nickname is the Ryan Express. We're going to take Ortiz. He's 6'8", 205 pounds as a 16-year-old. So we're gonna offer him. Okay. All right. My international complex is full. We can get rid of Alex Sanchez. Do we have any other 20s that we want to just dump? Yes. this way. Let's just get rid of all the 20s. Let them develop elsewhere, not develop here. International amateurs, we're going to offer Andres Ortiz the full 5.7. And I'm making these moves as if I'm going to be playing going forward. But again, once we get to out of the park 26, I'll be shutting down this playthrough. So the goal is to win ahead of time. So we signed Ortiz. That is cool. Hall of Fame voting. Anybody make it? Beltran made it in his 5th year. Carlos Beltran, a good ball player. He was a good ball player for sure. Andrew Jones got dropped. That's a damn shame. Andrew Jones, one of the best defensive center fielders ever, honestly. And I mean, he put up some. It was this stretch at the end from 31 on where, he was a 0 to -1 to 2 WAR player. But his time in Atlanta, man, he was absolutely amazing. A-Rod's getting a little closer, but I don't think he's gonna make it. Cal gets dropped, and you can see everybody else who gets dropped. So Peralta signs with Texas, 7 years, $102 million. We got anything left in free agency? We could bring David Bednar home. He wants $17 million. I'm not prepared to give him that. And then once we get to preseason, we'll be able to see who is going to be a free agent next year. And then maybe we can find a team that's interested in trading one of those players and we can add to our offense. All right. We didn't get a financial bump, and I think that's because, once we lost that fan interest from Luzardo when we went from whatever it was, 64 to 59, that hurt. But we still have some money to spend. So we're going here, here, here. And this should give us next year's. Yeah, that's bad. That is a bad free agent class. Oof. It's ugly. All right. Well, it is what it is. All right. Let's just sim up to spring training. I think this is probably going to be a bit shorter stream tonight. I am starting to feel it. I'm going to eat a little bit too. What I'll probably do, though, is my interview tomorrow at 10. I'll probably do that up here in my office, and then Javier gets a little worse. I'll probably do that up here in my office, and then once I'm done with the interview, I will probably do a little bit of recording. So Roberts gets better. Tamar Johnson's defense gets better at second. If I can get that range to a 65, he becomes our starting shortstop. So that's going to be the next focus, I think. So we'll get to open and we'll get to spring training, and then I think that's probably where I'll call it, and then I'll just sim spring training offline. See, I think my schedule, let me look at my broadcast schedule here real quick. Hold on a minute. Next Sunday is going to be a beast. I have 6 hockey games over at the United Center next Sunday rather. Right? That is next Sunday, Sunday the 9th. Yeah. I've got a volleyball triple header on Saturday. And then I've got 6 hockey games at the United Center on Sunday. Now I'm going to be there for probably 13 hours on Sunday. So, there won't be a stream next Sunday. It'll probably be next Monday again, honestly. And then the weekend after that, starting the 16th, I think I've got some availability on Sunday night. So Nolan Jones gets better at third. That's pretty cool. Player development. Who else can we work on here? Ian Happ. First base. No, I don't want him him getting better at first base or in left field. I want him getting better at first base. Let's work on Dylan Beaver's speed. If we can get that speed up, maybe he can steal 15, 20 bases for us this year. And then DeLuca, let's work on his speed as well. I was talking to Shawnee last night or was it last night or the night before? I can't remember. In Discord, and he was showing us how he had a player who all of a sudden learned how to start stealing bases when he was like 29 years old. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I want to try that. So I've been adding some base stealing to some of my players here to try to get them the ability to steal some bases, even if they're a little bit older. So we'll see how that goes. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it. I'm going to go here for about an hour and a half. I'm not feeling it tonight. I'm pretty beat. So I am going to call it a stream here. I appreciate Breeze, Cardinal fan, Shawnee, you guys hanging out with me tonight. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm done for the night. I'm pretty tired. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate it. I will post this video in the morning. Again, I'll probably post it after my interview, and then once the interview, I'll do my interview. I'll post this, and then I will record a couple of videos to put out during the week, and then we'll go from there. So, guys, thanks for hanging out. I'll talk to everybody later. Have a good night.